Alright, it is about to be Arlecchino time, and well, I am, how many days? 4 days. Yeah, it's Arlecchino time. Arlecchino, it's my profile picture. I have not made my tier list yet. I am still trying to do research. It's a little bit of an issue because there are characters who can clear things, and there's also characters who can clear things. And I would count Nilo as that because while there is evidence of her clearing things, I'm actually looking further into it. It wasn't that great, so I still stand by maybe not calling it impossible. I need to stop doing that. I understand. Like I do a little bit of a hyperbole way too much often. A lot of the times it's you're trash or you're amazing, right? With me, I'll try to do better on that. But that's enough of the last video. We're talking about Arlecchino. No, no. Simply put, no. This character, there's characters who can clear, and then there's characters who can clear. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. But no, Arlecchino is a character who, if I put in a team, I'm confident that she can clear still to this day. So can I? Like, I don't think anybody who's logically like, I regret Arlecchino. The only reason you could regret her is if you're a huge Mavwika main now and you don't use Arlecchino. Because I feel that, right? I barely use Arlecchino, and it's a pretty big issue that I wish I had more reason to use this character, and I had more reason to summon for her constellations, but the issue is her constellations just turn her into more of a character like Mavwika who does a big burst hit, and it's just not really worth to put that investment into Arlecchino when you can put that investment into other characters. Overall, I do enjoy Arlecchino. I enjoy her Overload team a lot. I enjoy her Vape team a lot. I do not enjoy her Melt team. The main reason for that being is because of her C2. If you mess up with, getting the C2 activated and, you could end up hurting yourself. It's a very specific rotation that I just don't like doing because if you mess it up once, you nearly mess up the entire rotation. There's some times where you can, save it, but you oftentimes end up messing up. And that's just a C2 issue. It's not going to affect you if you're like a C0 player. You'll be fine. But yeah, other than that, this character is dominant, right? And then again, I am using C2R1. So it's possible that I'm saying, oh, she's dominant. And then like you actually use her at C1 or R1 and you see that it's like hugely worse, right? I'm not going to deny that. To me, I use this character daily, or not daily. Not daily, but whenever I use this character, it's just so easy, right? Like if I were to say power wise on my account which one feels stronger, Nefer or Arlecchino, I'd put Arlecchino in it because there's also a thing to mention, like she's not hard to play, right? Nefer, you have to dash cancel. If you dash cancel too early, it's an issue. You do have to dash cancel with Arlecchino if you're playing Melt, but again, I kind of don't play Melt anymore. But if I were to say who feels stronger this Stygian, I would say Arlecchino through and through. But Arlecchino destroyed this Stygian. Nefer, while she destroyed it, you have to focus a lot more with her, right? Whereas Arlecchino is literally just an NA spam character. That's all it is. That's all it is. And that gameplay to me, don't care what you say, it's fun. It is fun. I love Yoimiya. I love to, even Hu Tao, right? Charge attack, spam, whatever. Hers was a little easier to, actually do because all it is jump cancel. It's not dash cancels, so wasn't too hard. But with Nefer, you have to be managing your little stack. It's intricate, it's nice, it's there's quality to it, but it's not nearly as like unga bunga fun as Arlecchino, right? Arlecchino is just there's no other way to describe it other than she literally hops on the floor. She does 200,000 damage on her normals. This is a team that I've actually started using quite a lot. Enefa, Ino is a good replacement for Yelan. Really good. If it wasn't for the fact that Nefer and Flynn's both need Ino, I would be using Ino with, Arlecchino. Because then you could even run like Tenacity on Enefa and then Silken Moon with Ino, right? You could do that. Or you could run Silken Moon on Bennett, right? That's how it works, right? Hold on, let me make sure. No, Bennett couldn't use this. You need to be doing off-field damage. That's all. That's the only requirement. I knew that it was very lenient, but yeah. But it's not as lenient to get Bennett using it. Although it does last for 8 seconds. Could. it could. But this is just a really good team overall. I really do like using this because Ineffa provides shield. Yelan does, vaporizes with Arlecchino. Bennett, obviously, massive attack buff. Overall, this team is just like really good. I really like this team. Every time I've used it, Ineffa just constantly is proving to me, like, I do feel like she's better than Lauma, right? Like, on a case-by-case basis, Ineffa just seems better than Lauma overall. Lauma has a higher, it's a little bit weird. Like, Flynn's doesn't do as strong as Nefer, and Nefer is more reliant on Lauma, or maybe just as reliant, but that means Lauma's technically giving more to Nefer. It seems like Lauma is a little better for Nefer than Ineffa is for Flynn's, but that's all I have to really say. But yeah, that's enough about Ineffa. This character pairs really well with Arlecchino because not only is, she able to give 120 elemental mastery or however much, whatever set you're, running in, and, maybe you're running Ino again, or whatever. Let's just say you're putting Silken on Ineffa, right? 120 elemental mastery, along with, I believe it's somewhere along the lines of 6% of Ineffa's attack. That would end up being 2,500 times 6%, assuming she's not going to get any other attack buff, right? 2,500 times 6%, right? Let's go ahead. That's 150. So 270 elemental mastery buff if you're using double Nodcry, characters. And that's insane to me. So Arlecchino's gotten a buff, and we'll see if she maybe gets a buff, through the future. All it would take really is, it would take a bit because you need another Nodcry character. You'd actually need 2 Nodcry characters unless they release a Pyro Nodcry character to go with Bennett, and then you could go ahead and run Ino, or because you want to use Melt, right? Because you need to be able to do better than Melt. Otherwise, it's not really a buff, right? And that's one thing, right? It needs to be better than Melt, which is hard to do. But yeah, Arlecchino for me has been just constantly good. Whether it's because I have Weapon, whether it's because I have Constellation, you can attribute that however you want. I don't care. Just say whatever you want. I don't know. But to me, C2 R1 Arlecchino, I haven't had C2 the entire time. C1 R1 for a good chunk of her lifespan, and then when she got a reran, I actually ended up getting Chevy. I was really trying to get Chevy cons because Varissa, and I just was like, all right, let's go ahead and get Chevy. And I ended up getting C2 Arlecchino, assuming that I would lose 50-50, but I didn't. So yeah, I'm not upset. Like, C2 Arlecchino is again, it's a double-edged sword. Every single time I'm like, I love it, and then I'm like, I hate it. It's a thing. So yeah, not really much else to talk about. This character is just good. I've said it before, but like, this character, she's not the best, but she's still really good. So if you like Arlecchino and you get her, then you'll like her. It's the same thing with Furina. Like, Furina, not the best anymore, not gonna probably age the best anymore, but if you like Furina, she's still really good, right? It's sort of the same thing. Like, these characters are still really good, and if you like them, you get them, you can use them, right? It's not like, oh, you like Ito, you got him, well, that must suck because you can't use him to clear any of the content, right? You probably could, like this, using the Furina Mavuika Shieldon team, right? You probably could clear a lot of the content. I haven't tested. I could, but I won't, because that is, to me, that's a little too wailed out team for me to give any points to Ito seriously and Stygian. Also, my Ito's C2R1, so. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.